So former NFL punter Chris Kluwe has went viral for a speech that he made at a Huntington Beach City Council meeting. He stood up to protest a Maga plaque, and he did not pull any punches. For those of you that have never seen it, we're going to watch it. For those of you that have, I think you will enjoy seeing it again because I know I've watched this one more than once. Take a look.
Hi, my name's Chris Kluwe, 15-year HB resident. I'm here to speak out against both the plaque and the current city council. As the community made clear at the Library Commission meeting last Tuesday, everyone is in favor of a plaque to celebrate the library, but the vast majority are against including a Maga acrostic. Okay? Unfortunately, it's clear that this council does not listen, so instead I'm going to take my time to say what Maga has stood for these past 3 weeks. Maga stands for trying to erase trans people from existence. Maga stands for resegregation and racism. Maga stands for censorship and book bans. Maga stands for firing air traffic controllers while planes are crashing. Maga stands for firing the people overseeing our nuclear arsenal. Maga stands for firing military veterans and those serving them at the VA, including canceling research on veteran suicide. Maga stands for cutting funds to education, including for disabled children. Maga is profoundly corrupt, unmistakably anti-democracy, and most importantly, Maga is explicitly a Nazi movement. You may have replaced a swastika with a red hat, but that is what it is. I will now engage in the time-honored American tradition of peaceful civil disobedience.
Get the heck. Get out.
So that's probably the fourth or fifth time now that I've watched that clip, and every time I watch it, it gets better and better. Folks, we're to a point now with MAGA that in my mind they have completely gone over the edge. And there's no way, I've been saying this for a long time, there's no way you can both sides this one. It's not as simple as, well, some people like Trump and some people like Kamala. They have went completely overboard. And when you got people out there doing that salute and then trying to pass it off as trolling and thinking it's okay to troll in that manner, we have got to stand up and call it out for exactly what it is. So I applaud Chris Kluwe for his speech, and I applaud him even more so for what happened after his arrest. I want to read you just a little bit here from this article from USA Today, because this guy is not backing down, and it's high time that more people stood up the way that he is. Right here from USA Today, it says, Chris Kluwe isn't backing down after arrest for MAGA protest, and he says somebody has got to step up. So I want to read this quote right here for sure. He said, I have faith in human nature, but I also have faith in the fact that I'm a large person who is not afraid to commit violence, 6'4" Kluwe told USA Today. I don't want it to come to that point, but if people think that peaceful protest is the only thing that I do, they will be very sadly learning otherwise. So he's not holding back at all on this one. And then right here, he made those remarks outside the Central Library after he said he was approached by a man on a bike who was muttering in his direction before saying, "You're canceled." But two women who approached Kluwe on Thursday thanked him for his remarks at the city council meeting that preceded his arrest. And then right down here he says, I am prepared to go to jail, but I do think that it's serious, and I'm unwilling to ask someone to do something that I'm unwilling to do myself. Explaining why he protested, Kluwe pointed out that he is white, male, and heterosexual. Privilege and power, he said. It's important those who have privilege and power, like I do, be out there on the front lines helping support those who are being oppressed, he continued. Because we cannot expect the people being oppressed to do all the work. It's on all of our soldiers, all of our shoulders to do the work. And I hope other people are brave enough and willing enough to do this. And then right down here it said, it is important for athletes to use their platforms to speak out about what Kluwe calls fascism. And he says, I think the more important question is, why aren't others speaking out? Why aren't people with real power, people who sign the checks, why aren't they saying anything? And that right there is what I applaud even more so than his original speech, is him saying that part out loud. More people needs to be asking that question, and that is, why isn't more people speaking out? I can't count the times that people will say to me, and listen, I want y'all to understand that I totally understand that some people are in a position with the job that they do and the town they live in and the work that they do, that not everybody can necessarily do what Chris Kluwe did. The people being oppressed can't always be the ones out there speaking. So people like Chris Kluwe and people with bigger platforms, the fact that they're not speaking out, I just feel like it's a complete waste. I know a lot of people will say, well, I'm not into politics, I'm into sports, or I'm not into politics, I'm into music, or I'm not into politics, I'm just an entertainer. This isn't about politics to me, folks. It's never been about politics. Politics to me is how high should the minimum wage be? How much should we tax the rich? You know, who's going to pay for the health care, things of that nature. Those are like political arguments that we could disagree on. If we disagree on how high to tax the rich or how high the minimum wage should be, then we can still be friends when that's over. But we can't still be friends if you're out there doing that salute and trolling people with that. We can't be friends if you're sitting there laughing crap like that off and accepting it. We can't be friends if you're sitting there being this racist, bigoted person. And like I said in the previous video, I don't call people racist. I don't throw that word around loosely. I don't use that word when I'm losing an argument. I don't believe in that. But if someone comes out and blatantly says something racist, I feel like it has to be called out, and we can't back down on it. And right now, when I see people say, well, I just prefer to stay out of that, I don't want to talk politics the way I look at it now. We're all talking it whether we want to or not. You're talking it how you live every day. And your silence is actually saying even more to me. And I know there's people that say, well, but I don't want to go to a show. I mean, I'm a musician, have been for 25 years, and I have people say to me, well, we don't want to come to music to hear politics. Okay, then don't go back to that person's show. It's just that simple to me. Don't expect them, though, to bend. To all the musicians and entertainers and athletes out there who do use their platform for the greater good and do use it to speak out, if you don't like it, stay home. Because in my mind, they earned the right to be there. They earned the right to speak out. And more people like that with a platform needs to speak out because, again, not everybody can. And that's the thing. I do understand that not everybody is in a position to do it. For me personally, now at this point in my life, there's no turning back for me. I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube and just go back down to the bar and start singing cover tunes. I have to keep pushing forward and standing up. And I applaud the people like Chris Kluwe and the ones that uses their platform. I applaud them for using that platform to call down this bullshit. And to all the ones out there that went around normalizing it and had him on, like, oh, I got to have a former president on my podcast. You normalized a dude that did not deserve it. These are not normal times. He's not a normal candidate. He's not a normal president. You can't, this guy makes Nixon look sane. He makes Nixon look normal. As a matter of fact, I mean, he kind of, I guess we all owe Nixon an apology now on his behalf because, hell, I mean, the gates, the checks and balances that got Nixon are completely gone now. But then again, back then, what brought Nixon down was Republicans are the one that brought him down. And I don't see that happening these days because everyone in MAGA is so spineless, they just bow and they kiss the ring. And so we're going to be in it for the long haul, and we're going to need more people with platforms to speak up and speak out and stop normalizing this dude and stop normalizing this movement because there's nothing normal about it.